All right, we've been teasing that we are having a special new guest to Scarborough Country. He has not been on the calming shores yet. I don't think he's a very calming presence.
Or maybe he is.
In his own right.
Mellowed in
to
his old days.
people. He can jump right in. Sir, you can jump right in.
I appreciate the introduction. It's wonderful to be here. Randy and Jason, thanks for having me again.
Pat Buchanan
is here.
Which is just, again, bizarre, but I'm happy to have you here.
You know, Scarborough Country and sports create strange bedfellows, and so now we are with you. You have something to say about the Super Bowl.
We are strange bedfellows. Just stay on your side of the bed.
That's right. Hey, we'll make like a pillow fortress in between us.
I believe firmly that we need to build a wall to keep the scars from coming over from the other side of the bed.
All right, we go. We're writing policy right here.
That's what Buchanan does.
All right, Pat. Now, can I call you Pat or Mr. Buchanan? Or
Sure. Yeah, I can't tell the difference if it's Randy or Jason, so I'll say go for each one.
Okay. All right, so
Randy's talking now. Randy, please explain to him. Well,
you reached out to us because you said you had something to say about the Super Bowl. This is a perfect forum for you to get it out there.
Week after the Super Bowl.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Jason, I watched the Super Bowl.
I'm Randy. That's
Randy.
Okay.
Randy, I apologize. Jason,
Yeah.
I was watching the Super Bowl last Sunday, and I, along with millions of Americans, were horribly upset at the display of blatant homoerotic feminism during the most important holiday for white, straight Americans, Super Bowl Sunday.
That is
an American tradition.
By the way, it is smack dab in the middle of Black History Month. You do know that.
I understand that Black History Month is celebrated by some multiculturalists. But I'm a firm believer that Super Bowl Sunday is a sacred day for the celebration of American male masculinity, for breadwinners, and for men out there who worship Jesus Christ and play football.
All right, buddy, you also made it white there for a second. There are a lot of black football players.
Yeah.
There are black football players, and I believe that they have a place in America. I am not racist, and I would object to any coloring of my character as being racist.
Wait a minute.
There it is. All right. So you took umbrage with, I'm assuming you're talking not about the Ferris Bueller ad campaign, you're talking about the halftime show.
What I am talking, the Ferris Bueller, I thought the Ferris Bueller was funny. I thought it was fair.
Of course you
I
would
thought
think
it was fair
funny.
to both sides.
Fair and balanced.
Fair.
Because it's always upsetting. You're always going to agree with Pat Buchanan on something. It's going to drive you crazy.
I got sad when I watched the Ferris Bueller thing because I saw the sadness in Broderick's eyes.
I was like, really? You couldn't get
sense
Sloan?
the sadness in his eyes?
You couldn't get Sloan?
Sloan Peterson?
I think he's been locked up, and I agree with it. I think he's locked up, and I hope he's being tortured.
No, Sloan is a woman.
But that's fine.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Pat doesn't know. He doesn't need to know.
So, again, the halftime show is what you're talking about. Madonna being carried in by all those, laddered up
What we saw was a blatant pagan ritual.
That's how it started.
Ushering in the events of 2012. And I'm addressing it in my book, my upcoming book,
which is
it's called "White America is Under Attack by Madonna, Gays, and Jews."
Wow.
And I think that's exactly
We're Jews.
Wait, Madonna might be under all those classifications.
She could be gay and Jewish. I don't know. She studies Kabbalah.
She worships the Kabbalah. She's honorary homosexual.
Well, that's true.
And she is a brazen example of feminism out of control. Now, I support the liberation of women up to a point.
Up to a point. What point?
Washing machines and dishwashers.
What?
Wait a minute.
I believe are there to free women from the backbreaking labor that they knew in my grandmother's generation.
Cleaning clothes on a stone right by a river.
And I think that's progress, and I think that's where it should have stopped.
It ends right there.
It ends there because what we saw last Sunday, we saw a Roman-style pagan ritual where Madonna was carried in on the backs of blacks, Mexicans, and Jews into the middle of the football stadium.
He's not lying. I mean, it's true.
On the most sacred day to Aryans in our country.
Well, wait a minute. This just got from white to Aryan.
Right.
Hold on a second.
The problem here is that this is 2012, and we're seeing not only homosexuality on display with the blatant dance moves.
They were blatant.
There were act outs. There were act outs of a blatant sadomasochistic nature.
There were act outs.
There were non-white people on that stage doing horrible things to the white people.
Okay, wait a minute. No. I do think that there were a couple of times, like when she couldn't get up on the bleacher.
Yeah.
I thought that was that was an act out of an old woman trying to be young again.
Yeah. Yes.
Randy, can I look you in the eyes?
I'm Jason.
Randy, I want to look you straight in the eyes.
Do it.
Man to man. And I want to say this. I believe in America, there was not long ago where a football coach like Vince Lombardi wouldn't have stood for that. If there had been such a display by a beauty queen
Right.
during a masculine ritual of straight heterosexuality, he would have turned to his team and he would have said, "Suit up, men. You're going to go out there on the field and you're going to tackle Madonna.
Wait a minute.
And you're going to smear the queers.
Wait a minute.
And you're going to grab Madonna and take her into the end zone for an extra point.
Come on.
Wait, I don't know.
That
means.
sounds like gang rape. Now, Jason, your wife, who doesn't watch sports, how does she feel about football? You're talking about a heterosexual ritual that is the NFL.
My wife, every time she watches football, is trying to convince me that it is gay, that it is full of homoerotic
behavior, and you're like, it is not. And
your wife has a point, and if she's making that point in private, she's entitled to her opinion.
Yeah, but
as a woman, she's entitled to.
So long as she's making that point, the privacy of your own home, I have no problem with it.
Not speaking out amongst other people.
Exactly, but I think that's a very good point, and I have talked to women about this. I think there is an encroachment of homosexuality in our American sports. You're seeing the undulation of thighs.
Yes, absolutely. The undulation. Which, by the way, that should be the title of your new book, The Undulation of Thighs. That would be a fantastic title.
That is the title of my next column in Creator Syndicate, coming out this week.
Okay, The Undulation of Thighs.
You can read it in your local newspaper, sponsored by corporate interests.
Okay.
Sure. Of course it
is.
But
not in particular.
I want to tell you this story because it's very important to my heart.
Let's hear it, please.
As a Catholic, and therefore elected to go to heaven after this life on earth.
Oh, wait a minute.
What I want to say is that I served under Ronald Reagan.
Yes, you did.
And we saw this threat coming as early as the 1980s. We assessed that Madonna was a Soviet mole and a threat to American capitalism, and I proposed in the 1980s that we send a crack team of Navy SEALs to abduct Madonna during her Blonde Ambition tour.
Wait a minute.
And bring her to the White House for questioning.
And literally, and you would waterboard her. Everything's possible.
Anything's available.
We would have done it. Except Oliver North got tangled up in the Iran-Contra scandal.
That's what put a kibosh on
the Iran-Contra scandal kept you from waterboarding Madonna.
That's exactly right. Well, I won't get into the intelligence details because I'm not authorized to, and I'm loyal to my president.
Okay, well, that's what happened. I can't believe it.
I believe that
we're getting some very sensitive information here.
There's some young people out there who play Pop Warner football, play high school football, who look up to their players, who want to be a masculine man. And what you saw there was the ritual of American
paganism,
athletic masculinity in service of Jesus Christ, being emasculated in the most important way. The pinnacle of football, the Super Bowl Sunday.
It is the pinnacle of football. I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Madonna circumcised in a Jewish ritual the American penis, and then cut it off in a ritual of emasculation and homosexuality.
Hang on a second. I'm going to try and make sense of this.
But first of all, when
Madonna was chosen, I myself, Mr. Buchanan, said that's a weird choice. That is a strange. Why?
It is weird. It's weird. You might as well have gone with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Come on. All right.
It's wonderful to be here.
Current reference. He's making
very current.
I think that Tim Curry should have been locked in chains and put in a dungeon until he grew a beard that looked shameful.
You're still.
He almost was.
Anger.
He almost did. He did the movie Clue. So
he did Clue.
So don't forget that. He had his own.
That might have been his own
form of punishment.
Okay. All right. All right.
I don't know if it's a good thing to make Pat Buchanan laugh. I don't know.
Is that where you want to do?
I'm avuncular. I'm happy to be here.
I don't know if you are.
I'm always a good time, which is why I keep getting invited by Jews and women's and gays and blacks, even though I hate them.
Come on.
It's true.
And that's a perfect way to end our show today.
I think that is a perfect way to end our show today.
What I want to say, if I could just get one more thing in here, I do want to say that I believe, I said this on Rachel Maddow, and I don't think I got my point across.
Did you say it on her show or just on top of her?
I said it while standing on top of Rachel Maddow in a ritual of masculinity.
Okay. Sure. Foot to the neck.
I said that I believe that there are too many Jews and gays in podcasting.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to look you here in the eye right now, Randy.
That's Jason.
I'm Jason.
I'm going to look you here in the eye, Jason.
No, I'm Randy.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look you man to Jew in the eye. And I'm going to tell you there's too many Jews in podcasting.
You might be right.
I'm being outnumbered right now, 2-1.
That's right. That is for sure.
Well, there you
Cyrus kind of makes it,
Cyrus evens it out a little bit, but wow. All right.
All right. Well, look, I'm glad you came on. I'm glad you shared your thoughts. All thoughts should be here.
Yeah.
Should be here.
We're not here to crush the Buchanans of the world. I think you laid it out perfectly. And
I bet there are people who listen to our show who may feel the same way.
I might agree with you, Pat Buchanan.
It's a silent majority that's out there. Nixon found it. Nixon tapped into it.
All right, okay. Don't look back at the Nixon years as the glory days.
All right.
Okay?
You know what? He's entitled to do
They're
that.
the halcyon days to which we have to return.
Okay. Where are you performing next? You got any shows coming up that we
I'll
can
be doing Pat Buchanan and Friends at the Meltdown Theater in West Hollywood.
Okay,
Fantastic.
there you go.
There it is. Pat Buchanan and Friends.
I'm assuming Tucker Carlson will make an appearance.
He might make an appearance.
I'm assuming he'll be there, and maybe the guy John Scarborough.
You never know.
Scarborough country.
Chuck Scarborough.
Chuck Scarborough?
I don't think it's John. Is it Chuck?
I don't know who it is.
It's Joe Scarborough. It's Joe Scarborough. He's on message on social issues, but I disagree with him when it comes to economics.
All right, fine. We put it out there. Pat Buchanan on Scarborough Country.
What a show. 81 in the books. Anthony Jeselnik, Pat Buchanan. We appreciate you guys being here. This is Michael Kiwanuka.
Oh, yeah, I love this guy. Super cool. Different old sound and stuff.
Tell me a tale.
It sounds great. It sounds like the 1950s.
All right, there it is.
You could wash clothes to this as a woman and be content.
Stop.